I'm holding court, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down?
So let me ask you this. So had you that, everybody when you dropped, and for those who don't, some of the youngsters that could be looking at this, they not familiar. Did you already have that? Because everybody, obviously, your voice,
Right.
Your cadence, you sounded like Biggie.
Right.
Did you always have that? Was that something that was like, for instance, like when we rapped, we had been rapping fast in the early 90s.
Right.
And when Bone Thugs came,
Right.
we had already been doing that. But we
Right.
did borrow a little bit from them, which aided in us getting the record deal with
Right,
Biggie, 'cause
right.
we were his version of Bone Thugs.
Right.
So
right.
did you already have that, and then with the influence of Biggie, you said, okay, I'm gonna lean into that?
You know what I think more than anything, I was already lyrical.
Mm-hmm.
So, Big in his own right is the lyrical god, if you
Right.
want to look at it to that extent. He has the lyrical ability that haven't seen in any other artist to this day still. On top of that, the persona and his flyness and his swag
Yeah.
or whatever not.
Especially for the big guys.
Exactly,
Represent.
definitely.
Yeah.
I was, coming from a different era and a different range. So
Mhm.
I could even get close to that. I'm just always in my own lane. But I think over a period of time, my lyrical ability began to step up a lot
Mhm.
better and a lot greater. And I've always been deep voiced it. So
Right.
me being able to, okay, boom, all right, I'm gonna swag this way. I can swag that this
Yeah.
way. And I got my own writing ability
Right.
to be able to pull this off to this. So now I got okay. And so yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even with the tonality of your voice,
Right,
like,
right.
was you rapping, and then when Biggie, you was like, oh shit, my shit
Right,
sound
right.
familiar.
Right,
And was
right.
people around you like,
Right,
nigga,
right.
you sound like
Right,
Big.
right.
I mean,
yeah,
tonality.
I mean, I've always been deep voiced.
Yeah.
I've always
yeah.
been deep voiced. So it's no other way
Right.
for it to come out but deep.
Right.
There's no other
Hey,
way.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. When we used to, you and I did that song 15
Right.
years ago, people would say, "Man, he sound like Biggie." He woo woo woo.
Right.
And I say, "But the nigga sound like that though."
Right,
Like
right.
that's how he talk.
Yeah.
You know
So
what
I mean, when you look at everything and you
Yeah.
understand it for what it is, like, I mean, I've always been deep voiced.
Mm-hmm.
You can't change that. But when you really delve into Biggie's records and the
Mhm.
style and the way that he wrote records
Mm-hmm.
and the way that he approached a verse and the way that I approach a verse, you can't knock that.
Right.
You could say, oh, well, maybe he took a little bit of the cadence. Okay.
Yeah.
But you can't never compare the two. Tone-wise, it's a whole different way of he swagging words. I'm from the West Coast.
On the
so we
West
talk-
Coast, the slang
li-
and the
listen-
dialect is
li-
going to
li-
be different. Yeah.
Yeah. To most people, we sound slow.
Yeah.
We sound slow as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I could never. I know a lot of y'all out there from different, areas out the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah.
Just recently, I was, just chopping it up with a few people, and they had a birthday party, and they was like, "You sound like you from
Yeah.
here."
Yeah.
I was like, "What you mean? You sound slow." I'm like, "I sound slow."
Yeah.
Well, we from this part of the Carolinas, we from North Carolina.
Yeah.
But you sound slow. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you,
It is
but
what it is.
it could never,
Yeah.
I could never talk like a New York nigga.
Right.
Period.
So
a New
you,
York nigga could never
yeah.
talk like a West Coast nigga.
Right.
And a New York nigga could never rap about West Coast shit. And
Right.
a West Coast nigga could never rap about New York shit.
Right.
So, it's just a whole different thing. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So that led to your record deal.
Right.
And your record deal was with
Virgin.
Virgin. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Because, I mean, you a nigga from Compton trapping.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
You've been playing with this rap thing.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, you got somebody really want to do business with you.
Right.
So what was that like?
I mean,
making
it
that
wasn't an
transition?
immediate transition right away,
Mhm.
man, to keep it real with you, Court. It took a minute for that transition to actually take place. And so understanding that these are 3 songs that's cut, and I'm having meetings with different record companies, Def
Mhm.
Jam West, and they had Dub C at the time.
Right.
I'm going to Warner, and I'm talking to different execs over at Warner, and I'm talking to different execs from a few different labels at the time. So there's a lot of opportunity that's out there. But I think more than anything, which was impressionable upon me was the fact that Pete Farmer,
Mm-hmm.
which was my A&R at the time,
I remember Pete Farmer.
he would
yeah.
continuously be at me like, "Yo, Black, you need to do this." And at the time, I'm working and I'm trapping.
Mhm.
I'm doing 2 things. I'm working and I'm trapping just to be able to pay my
Real
bills.
quick, Pete Farmer didn't he work with Lil Easy too?
Yeah, he did work
Okay,
with Lil
okay,
Easy.
thought
Yeah,
so.
definitely,
Okay, go
definitely. Shout out to Lil E.
Yeah, he came on the show too.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. It's a good nigga, man. Good nigga.
Oh yeah, that's my guy.
Good dude. Good dude. But so the opportunities just wasn't there like that. Well, they were at that time, but he was a key force and factor in continuously pushing me in that path of believing that I could actually do the shit. Because even with that and me hearing companies, I just really thought they was on some bullshit, to keep a G with you. My mind wasn't even that open. I was only in one range of thinking like, nigga, I'm finna go to the street and go get the money, get the bag, go do this, do that. Even with them talking, you know how we was right.
Oh yeah. It ain't a lot of talking. We about getting to it.
That talk, you know, I don't believe nothing I hear and half of what I see.
Real talk.
So that's just the way I was raised. So I'm hearing them, you know, that. So for me, I'm already in this set of mind, like, okay. So Pete was like, no, it's real. Yeah, go get me a bag then.
Yeah.
And Pete went and got me a bag. Like, here, nigga, here go 14 bands. Oh,
that was from Virgin?
Yeah, from Virgin.
Okay.
Pete went and got me a bag. I'm sitting around there. I needed a bag, man. Boy, man,
I ain't even gonna ask what you did with the 14.
Hey, man, don't even ask.
Because I'm already
don't ask.
I'm already okay. All
don't
right.
even ask. Yeah, that part.
Yeah,
that part. Yeah,
you know, that's probably probably 18. You know, but anyway,
yeah. But anyway, check it. Anyway, you know, I was my lips was white as Al Heyman. At the time, shit, man, I was fucked up. So he dropped that bag off on the nigga, man. What?
Yeah.
Dropped off a party pack? Oh, man, what you say? Oh, man.
So
I
it's
was
real.
Like, when he did that, I was like, oh, it's real.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, and then Pete, he had, you know, the production that was around, and he was influential, and he had all of the pieces to the puzzle, and Pete, you know, definitely was just like, nigga, we finna do this shit.
Yeah.
So that just changed the whole game, and he changed my mind frame. Like, no, nigga, you can't just be in the hood no more.
Right.
You need to be up here at the office. You need to be listening to tracks. You need to be up here meeting these people. Yeah. And so this is a total transition. This is a whole culture shift. Yeah. I'm used to standing on the corner, niggas shooting dice. Because what
year was that, bro? That was about
2002, 2003.
Yeah. Because when I met you, nigga, you had already had a hit single album out. Exactly. And you was still, I was like, nah, this nigga signed? When I first met you, I was like, this nigga acting like he came straight from the spot.
Yeah. Because, you know, once it's ingrained, nigga, it's ingrained.
Yeah, I was like, and then we start having conversations. I was like, nigga, nigga, you is signed, ain't you?
Man, nigga, you cannot forget pit bulls and curls, nigga. You just can't. You can't. It's real. It's just certain things that's ingrained and embedded in your DNA, man.
Yeah.
You can't change up the genetic make of it. It's just what it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That shit is in you. It ain't on you, pimping. And so once you see that and then develop into that, it is what it is. So that conditioning for so many years just came out through my cognition and the choices that I was making. So let me ask you,
do you think that worked against you in that space? Not being able to fully, do you feel like you were ever able to fully transition into that position of being, okay, I'm an artist. I've arrived, I'm Guerilla Black.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, to be honest with you, I could never really fully take on everything, even though because my mind state. So I did make some changes to be open-minded about coming to, I would always be at the office every single fucking day. But I took on the attitude of, these people are in charge of if I fail or win. I need to build relationships. In me and my brother was very influential in that. Like, Black, we need to go and have a meeting with her. Hey there, how you doing? You mind if we have a time? So what is it that you do? Well, I'm the one who does this with your project and does this with your project and does this with your project. I'm responsible for all of these things. I did work on these albums at this company with these other artists in it. Oh, wow. So what do you think that I should do?
Was that Violet Brown?
No. It was just different people at the label at the time because I had started working just up there at the company, just being able to understand who was in charge of all of the promotion material, who would be in charge of mix show? Who would be in charge of getting these records in the program director's hands? Who would be in charge of how the videos would be distributed? Who would be in charge of, the street team? Who would be in charge of when I got there? Because, back then it was different parts of the country that you had different people that would be from different parts of the street team that they were outsourced from the company.
Absolutely.
So I had to learn this shit on the fly while I'm being an artist. So I had to take on the mantra that I got to approach this shit as a business street nigga. Business street nigga. So I could be able to, oh, okay. Yeah, now I understand. Can you repeat yourself? Oh, I'm so-and-so. This is what I do. This is what I've done. This is this. And at the same time, hey, nigga, go get my motherfucking bag up out of there. My nigga, we need to get over here and go get some Wendy's real quick.
Yeah.
We got to be over here at the radio station, nigga, at 1 o'clock.
Right.
This shit's serious. So I had to wear multiple hats, and I had to learn on the fly how the game worked, and I had to do it in a fairly quick amount of time because this shit is money.
Yeah. So you just did an artist deal, one album?
No, I had signed for 2 albums and 4 options. That was my deal.
Okay, with Virgin.
With Virgin.
Okay.